Hi everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Industry Training Series. Today we're going to be walking through a basic setup for recording on Emerson sets. So we're going to start out by selecting our microphone. I already have a foam windscreen and a dead cat on this shotgun microphone, as we talked about in the last episode. And I'm going to start out by putting the shock mount onto the top of my boom pole. Once that's snugly on there, you can go ahead and slide the microphone into the shock mount. You want to make sure you put the shock mount on first before you put the microphone into it, because you don't want to be twisting around the microphone and potentially, run it into something or anything like that. So then once the microphone is on the shock mount at the top, I'm going to go ahead and attach this XLR cable that runs through the boom pole to the microphone. It clicks in. You want to make sure that this is not pulling down on the microphone, which is going to put strain on your mount and potentially carry noise from the boom pole through the mount into the microphone. Then once you have that, you can go ahead and connect the end of the boom pole. Again, just a reminder, if you did not have an internal XLR cable on your boom pole, you would connect the XLR directly to the back of the microphone and then wrap it around the boom pole so that it was sturdy and didn't get too much in the way while you're recording. But since we have an internal XLR, that's perfect. So we connect that to the end. I'm gonna set this down here. And then we can go ahead and turn on our recorder. So this Zoom recorder has a power button on the side here. You have to hold it down, and then it has a little screen. Audio equipment is always super nice. It says welcome back and stuff like that. It's really friendly. It's telling me that I have no card, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab an SD card. Again, another reminder that the Zoom audio recorders and a lot of smaller portable audio recorders will not take SD cards larger than 32 gigabytes, so you need to have smaller SD cards. I have a 16 gigabyte SD card here. I'm just gonna pop that in the side. It says now loading. While we wait for it to load, we can note that this takes 2 AA batteries in the back here. You'll run through quite a few batteries while you're on set. I would recommend bringing 12 just to be safe for a 2-hour shoot. You might not use them all, but it's better to come with more batteries than you need, and then you can have more for your next shoot if you still have extras afterwards. Now that the card has loaded into the audio recorder, I'm going to go through the menu and I'm going to set a few important settings. So the menu button on the side here, I'll press that, and it's going to walk me through a few options. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and then you can look up a YouTube tutorial for more specific menu settings that are special to the specific audio recorder that you're working with, because they're slightly different for everyone. But the important things to note are that you format the card, which is going to erase everything on the card, so you want to make sure you don't have anything important on there. Format the card so that it's properly set up for your specific audio recorder. And then you want to go in and set the date and the time setting properly. This is really important for organizing your files later. You want to be able to go, I recorded audio on November 8th, and I want to see where that audio is. You want it to be dated properly so that it's not too confusing. So now that our card is formatted and the date and time have been set in the menu, we're ready to plug in our inputs to start recording. So I'm going to attach this XLR cable to the bottom here. You can see where it has the 3 prongs and match that up, and it'll click into place. And then with condenser microphones, they require phantom power, and this is where the recorder device sends power back into the microphone. So it's sending from the batteries of the recorder back to the microphone. So we're going to turn on phantom power for this microphone so that we can hear what's going on. Okay, so now that we have phantom power going, and I have armed the record track by pressing the record button once, we can see the levels coming through. That's from me talking. If I want to test it another way, I could snap. You can see where we're getting sound. And then I want to be able to hear what I'm recording. So it's always a good idea to turn down the volume before you plug in headphones, just so that you don't blow your ears out when you put the headphones in. So I plugged in the headphones, and you want to make sure that you have the correct ears on the correct sides. So I'll put those on, and then I'm going to turn the volume back up to a suitable level. Okay, so I can hear myself pretty well now through this microphone here. And if you were to use a lav microphone, you could plug that into another input on the recorder, but for this example, we're just going to use the boom microphone. So I can hear the audio, I can record the audio, and all I have to do to record is press this button a second time, and now it's recording. I can see the levels, I can see the time code changing, and if I want to stop it, I can press the stop button here and wait for the file to save, and then it'll just move to the next number of the recording. So now that we're all set up to record, that's going to conclude episode 3 of the Industry Training Series. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about some good techniques for when you are a boom operator on set.